we'll keep it moving. Talking about respectful, we'll go to the fights in Japan. We had Junto Nakatani versus Ryosuke Nishida. This was a unification bout at 118 pounds. Top pound-for-pound fighter in Nakatani. And this one was fun. This was a really good fight while it lasted. Very competitive for the first 4 rounds. I thought Nakatani was fighting maybe the wrong style, or as you would say, geography of fight, that he should have been more on the outside, controlling distance and, utilizing his height and his length. But he mixed it up. They both did. Unbelievable action. Great chin, great heart by Nshida. And he's got some skills too. Obviously was the IBF champ coming into this. In the end, I thought in the 5th round, Nakatani did start going to what I thought he should have been doing early. And fought on the outside, full extension on his punches. Really started to take over in the 5th. That carried on to the 6th. And then the fight was stopped with the eye completely closing the right eye of Nshida. Just your thoughts of the fight overall. And what's next? What do you want to see next for Junto Nakatani?
That eye, talking about that eye, Nishida's right eye, I don't know if it's a broken orbital. I don't know. I do know that a few fights ago that he also had a problem with that eye. So I don't know if it's a recurring injury.
That's right, versus Emmanuel Rodriguez. You're absolutely right.
I don't know if that's a recurring thing with him. I hope it's not. But I did think it affected him in the fight. It swelled up, but I think it affected him mentally. There was a round where it almost like he moved his head to the side, like, I don't know, like he was in pain or like he was concerned about that. He was aware that something that was hurt before was hurt again.
That's so spot on. He did seem that he winced.
Yeah, I just thought that might have thrown him off, and you don't want to be thrown off mentally in a fight. But having said that, I love this guy Nshida. I hope this fight didn't wreck him. He might have 10 fights. He might have been put in a little too early with a special talent champion like this. I know he was a champion too, and he's got a belt, and he feels like a champion. He felt like a champion. He wanted to prove himself with another champion. I get it. I understand that. I'm not going to stop a fighter from feeling that way. I'm not going to knock a fighter for taking a fight that he shouldn't take too soon. I love it. I love that he's got that attitude. I put the blame, I'm not blaming anyone, but I would put the responsibility, is the better way to say it, on the management. It's up to them to say, no, not yet. Not yet, because it was just a little too soon. But man, this kid, Nshida, he fought like a champion. Those first 4 or 5 rounds, he fought inside. He hurt Nakatani a couple times. He landed some good shots. He took some big shots. He showed an unbelievable will, an unbelievable chin, an ability to fight really well on the inside. I mean, he was a terror. I mean, Nakatani had to be that good to handle this guy and to take that belt and collect and add that to his collection. He had to be really good. And to your point, what makes Nakatani so damn difficult and good and dangerous for Inoue, to be quite frank. I mean, Inoue's dangerous for him too. Inoue's the monster. What a fight that would be. But what makes him so interesting and so good to the eyes of Teddy Atlas here, the training eyes, is that he's got the options not too many fighters have. With his great physical assets that you touched on, buddy, with the length and the height, with all of that, he's a southpaw. He can fight on the outside, and he probably should for the most part. He can control range. He can set up counters. He's got good legs. He could use the ring. He could make you walk into mistakes. He could do so many things. But he could also fight inside. All of a sudden, he takes that height, that reach, he shrinks himself down, he goes inside, and he fights like Joe Frazier. He fights like Jake LaMotta. He's unbelievable. He can fight inside. To your point, he was taking chances that he shouldn't have taken or didn't have to take by going inside early with Nshida, and he got caught some big shots, but he showed the chin. He overcame it like champions do. But I love the attitude that he ain't afraid to do that. Freak that. Freak that. Yeah, I'm taller, I'm longer. Yeah, I can beat him on the side. I can also beat him inside. That he's got that confidence, that belief in him, that ability when he has to, if he does have to fight on the inside. But to your point again, Bud, the 5th round, he changed it up. He was smart. He adjusted. He said, let me take it outside, 4th, 5th round, whatever it was. Let me take it outside and where I really have an edge, where I really have an advantage. And let me separate myself. And he did. When he did that, he separated himself. He made it awful hard for Nshida, where Nshida, the shorter man, didn't have him in close proximity anymore, where he could land some of those shots. Now he had to try to get to him. He walked into shots. He couldn't get to him. He got caught with counters. I mean, he did separate himself, Nakatani, later in those last 2 rounds. That'd be a hell of a fight with him and Inoue. Because if he fights smart on the outside, disciplined and smart, which of course he can do and has and does do. If he fights that way, Nakatani, on the outside, man, it's going to be interesting if Inoue can get through that bad neighborhood without getting mugged. Because Inoue has been dropped, but he's a monster. He behaves like a champ. He gets up, he wins. He acts like he's got to act when he gets hurt. But against Nakatani, if Nakatani, I say it again, fights a disciplined fight on the outside, that will be an interesting, difficult test and task for the great Inoue. I'm not saying he won't win, but it'll be an interesting, tough task to see for him. And I'll leave it with this. He ain't going to fight on the outside. He's going to go fight him on the inside, at least in parts. Yeah, but Teddy, you just said his best chance is to fight outside and be disciplined and be smart. I know what I said, but I also know my business. I know the human nature of fighters. I think that these fighters, especially fighting in Japan with other Japanese fighters, their pride gets involved. I think that was part of it. I think Nakatani's pride fighting another Japanese fighter, his national pride said, no, I'm going to beat him inside. I don't have to beat him being taller and longer, even if it's the wrong way to fight. I'm going to go and do that. His pride, that you don't let your pride get the better of you. You don't let it. Oh, there's another movie. I'm sorry. I have to. Pulp Fiction. When Ving Rhames says to Bruce Willis in that movie, now listen, at 5 you got to take the dive. You got to go down. Now there's a thing called pride. It's going to be nipping at you a little bit. Or it's going to be barking at you, talking to you a little bit. Don't let that pride get in the way. Don't let that tell you, get in your ear, and stop you from doing what we agreed for you to do. You take that dive in 5, or whatever it was.
Pride only hurts. It never helps.
Well, I think the pride nipped at Nakatani a little bit, fighting a fellow Japanese fighter, champion, and caused him to fight a little more inside than he might normally. And I think that same pride, I know no one else is going to touch on this, would probably nip at him a little bit, speak to him a little bit if he fights Inoue, and maybe make him fight inside when he shouldn't. Either way, I would pay to watch that fight. That would be a special fight.
Yeah, let's see if Inoue, he's going to have to get past MJ. And if he does, it seems like that matchup is inevitable in the future, right? Obviously, Junto's going to have to move up in weight to make that happen. But 2 top 10 pound-for-pound fighters, both from Japan. I know some people will say, hey, I want to see Bam Bam Rodriguez versus Junto. But from a money standpoint and everything you just said, that's got to be the one.
Yeah, I love Bam Bam. I love Bam Bam. He brings it. He's got the attitude of a fighter, of a champion. He's got a great trainer. He brings it. He makes exciting fights. That's what fans want. He makes exciting fights. He takes chances. And at the same time, he's technically sharp and together and smart. He mixes being aggressive with also being technically buttoned up. He does everything the right way. He's defensively responsible. He's a tremendous offensive fighter. Yeah, I love Bam Bam too, but I think this fight has to happen first. And as far as Nakatani moving up, he has to move up a little bit, like you said, to fight the great Inoue. But that's not a problem. Nakatani's got the frame, he's got the skeleton. And let's not forget, Inoue moved up. He's moved up a lot of times. He's not naturally at the weight that he's at right now.